And he told me, "You need to forgive your dad." In my mind, this is me thinking, I'm just hearing what he's telling me, and I'm thinking everything. I have thoughts in my head. I'm like, why should I forgive my dad? They're like, have an awesome relationship with my dad. And he responded what I was thinking. And he's like, "Hey, your dad didn't show you love the way you needed to when you're growing up, but you need to forgive him because nobody showed him love growing up. So he
Mhm.
didn't know how to show love." And then I was like, in my head, I was like, "You need to be a little bit more specific, you know?" And then he told me he lost his father at the age of 14. I was like, all right, all right. It's just at this moment, only God knows these details, you know? And growing up, I had a lot of depression spells. I didn't know why. I didn't know, I didn't understand why had the urge of crying. I didn't know, like, I felt lonely even though I was surrounded by people. I didn't know why. So that weekend, God took me back to that place. It was a weird feeling, it was just, we were praying. I was down in my knees and my hands and knees, and I was crying. I remember I was crying and praying, and God took me while that boy was praying for me, and he was narrating everything that was happening. It felt like everything around me quiet down, and I was back in my closet seeing myself cry as a young boy, because I would do that a lot. In the Hispanic culture, a young boy can't cry, can't show feelings because it's showing weakness, and it's frowned upon. So I'll have to go into my closet and cry everything out, not knowing what I was crying, but it was the lack of the love of my father's love. At that point, I understood it that's why I felt lonely because even though my dad was around, I didn't feel his love. He was
Okay.
busy working, and I understand now as a grown man, and I have my own family. Like I understand that he had to provide. But, doing all those drugs and stuff and going away for 2, 3 days and, that wasn't necessary. I understand that he had, his own battles in his head, he lost his dad at a young age. So that's a wound that he wasn't able to close and nobody showed him how to close it. So
Mhm.
I understand what he was going through. I was able to understand everything that weekend and, I was out there and they were passing the mics to basically tell, you know, a short experience over the weekend. And in my head, I was like, oh, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. I'm already thinking what I was going to say. And when it was my turn to go up in front of people and talk, all that went blank. And I confessed to my attempt of suicide, in front of people. That was the
What?
that was the first time I had spoke about it, and it was a crazy thing. I still got the video. I'll send it to you.